from each happily ever after, every wish upon a star. Let's break down the movies that shaped who we are, from memory lane to now and everything in between. The most famous of films to the ones we've never seen. Decade by decade, all the times we laughed and cried, and with a little pixie dust, they will all take flight, reliving the feelings, and we're trying our very best. And if they mean the same to you, please be our guest. So hop aboard, we would love to have you as we hang with a certain mouth, the whole gang too. If you love nostalgia stuff, we hope this does the trick. Thanks for joining us as we deep dive the magic.
Hi, and welcome back to the Deep Diving the Magic podcast. I'm KJ.
And I'm Jeffrey, and we are back today with the 99th Disney feature-length film from December the 24th, December 24th, 1970. It is the animated classic film, The Aristocats. So, last film of the 70s and last film of the double digits. We hit the 100 mark next dive. But before that, we're going to dive into a film that you had never seen before, The Aristocats.
True.
As you can see, I grew up with it, as you can tell by this VHS tape sitting right here. Again, this is an animated classic. There's lots and lots and lots of famous Disney voices of films to come and films that we've already seen. I'll let you talk about those. And actually, you want to start us off with a synopsis about the Aristocats?
With the help of a smooth-talking tomcat, a family of Persian felines set to inherit a fortune from their owner try to make it back home after a jealous butler kidnaps them and leaves them in the country.
So you're saying that it's a feline version of 101 Dalmatians?
No.
Kind of. The Aristocats is the final Disney animated film with the involvement of Walt Disney Productions co-founder Roy O. Disney, who unfortunately passed away December 20th, 1971. So there's still a few more films with him in it, or him involved with, but this is the last animated film. Would you like to start us off with any opening thoughts or facts about the Aristocats?
I don't think I got any trivia because since I had never taken it, I got the pleasure of taking all the notes. So, do you have any trivia?
No, not really. There's a lot of familiar voices. It was a success. It was like Roy's last animated film. And this last film before we get to film 100.
Okay. So you want to just dive right in?
I think that so let me set the stage.
Okay, set the stage.
There's a fancy intro song playing with the animated cats during the intro. And we learned that we are in Paris in 1910. And now over to you.
All right.
For the Aristocats.
So, set in 1910 in Paris.
That's right.
The Aristocats opens up with Madame Adelaide Bonfamel, I think's her name.
They just call her Madame the whole time.
Okay. So anyway, she's a wealthy retired opera singer, and she is going to be dictating her will. So this guy shows up to her house, and he's going to be setting up the will, but he doesn't know it yet. She's going to tell him about that when he gets there, but we find out that he is one of her oldest friends.
Emphasis on the word old.
Yeah.
He's an old man. He's an old man attorney.
Yeah. So George is told after a quick dance that he was asked to come over to draft her will.
We also meet Edgar the butler before that because he has to help the old man up the stairs.
Yes. So Edgar the butler is running around taking care of the house and, most importantly, the madame and the cats.
And he has to help the old man, George, the attorney.
Yeah. So anyway, George refuses to use the elevator. He can go up the stairs because he's not that old. But he almost falls down the stairs, and luckily Edgar is there to help him.
By the suspendus.
Yes. Um, so we this find out after their dance when he starts to do the will or whatever that she plans to leave her entire fortune to her beloved cats. Duchess, which is the mother cat, she's a very standard white Persian cat, fits the mold perfectly, and she has three kittens. Um, I do not remember how to say their names.
So we have Tanous.
What's that? Toulouse?
Oh yeah, Toulouse.
Okay, so he's a would-be painter.
I don't know if I wrote
Bur
down too.
Burlizo? The other boy kitten, a moody pianist, and you have Marie, a total diva in training. She is adorable. She looks like her mother. The other two, one is like a blackish gray, and the other is an orange cat. No idea how they're Persians, but I don't think I've ever seen a Persian cat in a different color, but maybe there is a different color. I don't know. I did not look it up. Uh, but she's
I
gonna.
did not write down the other cat's name the whole time. Sorry, I don't know how to
I
pronounce
have
it.
it written down. I
No,
just
I'm
don't know
just.
how to say it. Burly wolves. I don't know. I don't do French. Sorry, not my thing. Anyway, so we find out she's gonna leave her entire fortune to her cats because she loves them so much. Um, but we also find out that once the cats die, Edgar is going to inherit everything, the butler. So, um, basically, this butler manages the entire estate. He serves the cats, and he's not going to get anything until the cats die. Um, but unfortunately, Edgar overhears this,
Yeah, he's eavesdropping on the conversation,
and the
like
plan.
down the pipe.
Yeah, so he overhears the plan and flips from loyal servant to a bumbling villain
He
super quick.
he like is like doing the math. He's like, well, these cats have 9 lives, and they're and
Yeah.
he's
Anyway, so the kittens do a musical number for their mother, but Toulouse joins in and gets paint all over the keys on the piano. Um, it's a cute little scene. But then we go back over to Edgar.
Can I add one thing?
Go ahead.
Just because it's like a famous scene.
hmm
Um, when all the three kittens are like running through the house and there's running out like the cat door and they like get in a fight about who goes in first. This is where Marie says, "Well, I'm a lady, that's why." And she says, "Ladies do not start fights; they finish them." It's a famous Disney scene. And then they
Okay.
paint and they make a mess.
hmm
Okay.
Okay. So basically, Edgar's going to put his plan into motion, and he has decided that he is going to drug the cats in their dinner.
Sleeping tablets.
Anyway, he's going to drug the cats, and their dinner is creme de la creme, and they share it with a mouse named Walter.
Hmm.
That sounds a lot like Winnie the Pooh. They all pass out after being drugged, including their little mouse friend.
He has like his little cracker.
Yeah, he was going to go back and get another cracker because he ate his cracker with all the milk that they were having. So he was going back to get another cracker, but passed out in the middle of going to do so.
Hmm.
And then we find that Edgar is basically going to dump these cats out in their basket in the countryside, but he's attacked by a couple of dogs. Um,
I wrote down their names later. I don't have it right here. But yeah.
yeah. So anyway, at this point, Edgar is thinking to himself that, well, with the cats gone, the money's going to be mine now. I don't know how this guy thought that because was he going to kill Madame also?
Mm. Can I add something about that scene? Because I really liked it.
Sure.
The dogs attacked this motorcycle, like you said, causing him to lose the cat basket.
Mm,
But it's like this biggest like slapstick thing where like
I don't know.
they're like attacking it, like the motorcycle like comes apart from like the
He heard
side
it from a
car.
distance
And,
and
like
said what kind of car it was or what kind of motorcycle it was just from like listening to the
yeah,
sound of it, which was
I
kind of
like
funny.
these dogs. Speaking of cats, you coming up here?
Anyway, so the cats wake up and they're lost in the middle of nowhere. Cue the Disney storm. They have to wait it out, uh, the storm in their basket, and the mom, obviously, they were kind of thrown out of the basket. So the mom finds two of the kittens, and then she's trying to find the other one. But the other one apparently was lucky enough to not get thrown out of the basket. He was still in the basket. Um, but the storm hits. They have to basically sleep out the storm in their fancy rich basket. Um, but back home, Madame also wakes up in the storm to comfort the cats and finds that her cats are gone.
Mhm. And when the cats are trying to figure out what's going on, Chanus seemingly remembers that Edgar was involved, but nobody believes him.
Toulouse?
Toulouse, yeah. I don't know why it keeps. For some reason, it changed it to Toulouse, but yeah, Toulouse was like, "Oh, I had a dream that Edgar was involved." And they're like, "No, Edgar's our
Oh
humble
yeah.
servant."
Yeah, the cats don't know what happened to them.
Mm.
Um, so anyway, she wakes up, finds the cats are gone. The mouse feels like he needs to help them, as anything can happen on a night like tonight. So he sees the storm and I guess knows that they're not street cats and they're out in a bad storm. And then the next morning, the cats wake up in their basket after the storm to begin their journey back home to Paris. So enter Thomas O'Malley
O'Malley,
or
yeah,
Baloo.
yeah. Well, he's not Blue in this film. He is O'Malley the Alley,
Yes, well, he sounds like Baloo. The smooth talking, jazzy alley cat.
who mentions the magic carpet.
Yes. So O'Malley becomes the guide, and he is eventually their protector. He's got street smart swagger and a real soft spot for the Duchess. Um, O'Malley gets the cats a ride in the back of a truck. He tells them it's a magic carpet ride.
When they um when O'Malley like scares the truck driver, the guy says "Sacre bleu," which I thought was pretty funny.
So Duchess tries to explain to O'Malley how much the Madame is going to be missing them. Edgar basically back home admits to the horse and the mouse unknowingly that he has made the headlines of the paper as the catnapper, and nobody's going to find out as there was no evidence left behind.
Do you know what the horse's name was? I wrote it down.
I did not write it down.
Frou Frou.
It makes sense.
And our mouse friend overhears the conversation.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yep.
So, anyway, back in the truck, O'Malley is treating the cats to cream for breakfast until they get caught and thrown out of the truck. Um, then they end up having to walk the rest of the way home on train tracks. But O'Malley and his street smarts are able to save the day. So he gets them under the track on the lower part of the bridge, just in time before they get hit. But Marie falls in the river.
Marie's
And
always the one. She's the one that fell out of the truck earlier that made O'Malley get and help him in the first place.
yeah, and O'Malley has to get to dive into the water to save her. So then he gets her out. She's back to the Duchess with her mom. But O'Malley is stuck floating downstream, and he tells Duchess that he'll see her downstream. Um, and then he is found by some geese, which are twin sisters who are British, who
Yeah,
try to
did I write their name bad?
who tries to reach or teach him how to swim. Then they introduce themselves to the Duchess and the kittens, and O'Malley is still not a fan of these geese. He doesn't like them.
Yeah, they're pretty funny, these geese.
Yeah. And the whole time I was like, oh, I've heard this music before on Reels and had no idea where it came from. And then I found out it come from the Geese ladies and the Aristocats. Um, so anyway, the Geese make a comment about O'Malley being Duchess's husband. He corrects them, telling them he isn't. They find this scandalous, but Marie finds it romantic.
Yeah, I gotta think of their names are. Should I make her keep talking?
Okay. So the Geese tell them they are also going to Paris and make plans to travel with the cats.
Because they're going to visit their uncle.
Yeah. So on this journey, when they start, they find their uncle Waldo in a mess. The twins ask if he has been drinking, but he says no, that uh, they had just tried to baste him in white wine, but O'Malley states that he was marinated in it,
Yeah.
which it was kind of humorous. Meanwhile, back in the countryside, Edgar is trying to find his missing items so he won't be caught.
Yeah, his
So
umbrella
he
and
realized he did leave evidence behind after he told the horse and the mouse that he did. And he then started to think about it and realized he did leave things behind.
Abigail and Amelia. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So he goes back to find these missing items so he won't be caught. However, he stumbles back upon the two dogs that messed him up in the beginning of his plot.
Yeah.
Um,
They have like his hat and like an umbrella, like they're
okay. So he has to get his hat, he has to get his umbrella, and he has to get the sidecar back. Because these are the items he left. One of the dogs has the hat on. They're sleeping in the sidecar. One of them. The other one's sleeping in the basket with the umbrella over him.
he, he,
So,
he knew the size of the shoe.
thanks, Winston.
Really talk about cats.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
All right. Anyway, so he's trying to get these items back, but okay, keep going, Winston. Anyway,
O'Malley the alley.
yeah. But the dogs are not going to make it easy for him. They then find him in a one-wheeled haystack, but he does make his escape. Uh, Back with the cats, the kittens are tied. O'Malley tells Duchess that they can spend the night at his pad to get some rest, and then his feline jazz musician friends um, are back at his pad and they perform a musical number.
Scat Cat,
Yeah.
who was the voice of one of the caretakers from The Shining.
Yes. Um,
He is. I don't know. You could
yes.
tell by his voice.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to say about it?
No, I mean you stopped talking about who was Winnie the Pooh and who was
I know, but okay.
Baloo.
Anyway, so O'Malley is basically this feline version of a lounge singer, we find out. And his crew, especially Scat Cat and the gang, bring this jazzy cool cat vibe that makes this Disney film feel way groovier than the upper crust premise that it suggests. So it steps out to not be snooty, and you've got some soul to it. Anyway, O'Malley talks to Duchess about the kittens having a dad around. Duchess explains she has to go back to the Madame after all
You're
of
gonna
this.
leave out.
The song? What do you want me to talk about it?
You said they sang a song,
Yeah.
but you didn't talk about it being the famous "Everybody Wants to Be a Cat" song. They could have just sang "Merry Christmas" for all these lovely listeners know. They sang "Everybody Wants to Be a Cat," written by the Sherman Brothers. Okay, back to you.
All right. So now you know the song they sang. I thought I said they sang a famous song. I just assumed everybody would know what it was because I'm probably the only person that has never seen this movie until today. Anyway. Um, very famous song sang. And then Duchess and O'Malley step out on the roof to talk after the kittens are put to bed. But the kittens sneak out and they're watching from the window and they overhear O'Malley talking to their mother about how they should have a father figure.
Mhm.
Um, but basically, the Duchess is focused on getting back to the madame. So, O'Malley tells Duchess that he's gonna miss her and the kittens. So obviously he's starting to grow attached. Uh, the mouse rejoices when the cats return home. So the next morning they make their journey back home. Um, but he realizes he's got to step in and do something because he knows that Edgar is the one that was behind them going missing in the first place. Um, so they come in having no idea because they don't know what happened to them. They were drugged. And uh, unfortunately, our little mouse friend, Walter, is not able to tell them to watch out for Edgar fast enough, and he captures them in a sack. So they have been caught once again. Cats in a bag.
Mhm.
Any thoughts?
Um, our mouse friend, I forgot what he said his name was Walter. He does tie Edgar's shoelaces together. The cats are meowing to be let in, and then Edgar lets them in. But this is the only thing that you missed was that Duchess does say goodbye to Thomas O'Malley before they go inside, and
Yeah, because he said he was gonna miss them.
yeah, and then they go inside, which is where they get trapped again by Edgar.
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right. So, the mouse runs to get help. He runs into O'Malley. He tells them that um the Duchess and the kittens have been captured again, and O'Malley is going to go back to the house to help them, but he tells Walter that he's got to go get Scat Cat and the other alley cats, um, which is quite humorous because he's like, "Me?" And he's like, "Yes, you." And he's like, "Just tell him that O'Malley sent you."
Yep.
Um, and then he finds the other alley cats and they're basically going to try to eat him because, I mean, it's a mouse showing up at their house and, well, why not? And it's quite humorous because Walter, for his own sake, cannot think of Thomas O'Malley's
Yeah.
name. He calls him everything and basically gets his three strikes and they're going to eat him. And,
That's what they're called, the scat cat and not the rat cat. So that's you.
okay. And then he ends up saying it accidentally and they're like, "Oh, O'Malley sent you? Well, why didn't you say so? We gotta go help them," because he's able to tell them at this point, Duchess has been captured, the kittens have been captured, and O'Malley told me to get you. And so at this point, all the cats are gonna go save them because they all love them too. So basically, in a shamble of hijinks, O'Malley and his little feline jazz cats um help uh defeat Edgar, and
So
they're able to stop him.
so his plan was that he like called like a FedEx or like
Oh yeah,
the
he was
like the
gonna
post office.
ship them off.
He was gonna ship them to Timbuktu,
Yeah.
and like the thing was ordered. The guy was already coming to get it in
Mm.
the box. Um, and while they're trying to fight off Edgar, they have to try to also unlock this lock to get them out of this box before the guy comes.
Yes. So they do end up getting the cats out of the box, and then they end up outwitting Edgar and getting him in the box. So Edgar actually ships himself to Timbuktu.
Hmm. Which I thought was funny because Madam's like, if only he knew that he was going to get the money, well, he wouldn't have disappeared. Hmm.
He did, lady, he did. Anyway, so he shipped himself off, which is kind of funny. And then the Madame ends up rewriting her will to include a home for all of the alley cats, and O'Malley becomes the kitten's new dad, and you can have lots of happy meows and jazz because at the end, O'Malley is dressed up all fancy and they're getting their family pictures
Yeah.
taken.
And there's a foundation, like you said, for all the alley cats of Paris. But like this cover though gives it away. Like he's dressed in his bow tie best on this cover.
Yeah.
How creepy Edgar is.
Edgar looks familiar. I don't know.
He looks like
On
what I'm gonna
here,
look up in a few
that
years.
one cat looks more gray. I thought he was more black in the film, though.
My buddy Scat Cat's up top.
Yeah.
But you know, everybody wants to be a cat. And we've reached the end of the film. We got a happy ending. We got a
Ken wants to be a cat. He knows he's the best cat.
because being a cat's where it's at or whatever.
Yeah.
So they got the money.
hmm
The old man was there to fix the will. The dogs are awesome. The cats are awesome. There's a foundation for all the alley cats in Paris.
hmm
And we've reached the end of our film. So this was your first time watching it. So
It was.
what was your take on the
So,
film? Besides that, there was a lot of famous voices. Sorry, go ahead.
IMDb rated it a 7.1 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay.
I definitely enjoyed it.
Would you watch again?
Yeah, I would watch it again.
It's quick.
I thought it was cool because one thing that we didn't discuss was how some of the backgrounds and stuff were reused from other films like
Mm-hmm.
101 Dalmatians. Um so that way the company could save some money and they ended up reusing and working in
Yeah.
some of other things out of their films.
Roy's the money guy.
So that's kind of cool. Um yeah. I mean, I guess it had a little nostalgia from obviously 101 Dalmatians stuff was used in the film.
And everybody wants to be a cat.
That wasn't reused in anything.
No, but it had nostalgia from you. I'm sure you're hearing it a million times.
I guess. Anyway, but definitely the first time I watched it, I probably would have enjoyed it as a child. Probably not as much as 101 Dalmatians, but I definitely would have enjoyed it. Yeah.
So then we've reached a list upon a star for the 99th film. Does it make your list upon a star? The exclusive last list before we get to number 100.
Oh my gosh.
Are you choosing a cat over a dog? Because the shaggy dog is your number 10.
Don't tell Faye. So, beepity-doo. Shaggy dog. Goodbye. Moon pilot's gonna go down. Doo-poo-poo. The three caballeros is gonna be moved down. That darn cat is gonna be moved down. The Lady and the Tramp is gonna be moved down. And then the Aristocats is gonna fall in behind the Jungle Book. Because, you can't beat the original Baloo.
So then what is your list upon a star through 99 films?
So my list upon a star through 99 films is 101 Dalmatians, The Parent Trap, Sleeping Beauty, Dumbo, The Jungle Book, The Aristocats, Lady and the Tramp, That Darn Cat, another cat movie, The Three Caballeros, a bird movie, and Moon Pilot.
A monkey
An
movie.
alien movie.
A monkey movie.
No. There was aliens up there.
And monkeys.
Aliens.
So this is also making my list upon a star. This movie's very nostalgic for me. It's fun. Um, my goal is to
What's it gonna
not.
knock off?
My goal is to not have um our list just be full of the animated classics. But when they keep being so good, they're gonna make the list. So, I speaking of animated classics, I'm gonna knock the Jungle Book off because it's my current number 10. So, rest in peace, Jungle Book.
It didn't top my Jungle Book.
I mean, to be fair, the Jungle Book had to fight to get on the list in the first place.
That's ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'll tell your friends.
Friends, Jeffrey's ridiculous. If you didn't know that already.
So it is going right here in a strong spot to wrap up the 99 film. My list upon a star currently is 101 Dalmatians, followed by Mary Poppins, followed by Peter Pan, followed by Alice in Wonderland, followed by Babes in Toyland, which is then followed by the Aristocats, our new friends. Pinocchio, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which has made it from the beginning all the way up to our 100s. And then lastly, right now, my number 10 currently is The Sleeping Beauty. But let us know. Let us know if you knew that guy was in The Shining. Let us know if everybody wants to be a cat. Deep dive in the measure pod at gmail.com. But either way, all jokes aside, we have made it to our 100th deep dive. If you would have asked us in almost 1 year ago, I'm sure like a year ago, we were probably prepping to start. Because we did a lot of prepping before we actually started.
Well, we started by now.
No, our first episode came out on the
Oh, we
two
recorded the
weeks.
pilot,
Yeah,
I think.
2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now is our 1 year anniversary. Be on the lookout for that. But we are approaching 1 year, and we are next approaching number 100. And not only is it number 100, we have made it to the year 1971. So we have successfully finished the first year of the 70s. The first film of the year 1971, and like I said, deep dive number 100 is a film called The Barefoot Executive, which we look forward to talking with you next for episode 100.
Thanks for deep diving the magic.
Bye.
Bye.